Hey, what's up guys? It's Parnellyx, and today is the start of a brand new series. It's going to be the Hunts for Rank 1. It's going to be a climbing solo queue series where I showcase some highlights of some of my solo queue games, as well as provide commentary that where I kind of criticize my own gameplay, talk about ways of improvements, talk about my thought processes and mindset. And just kind of provide a very authentic example of just how I'm going to go ahead and evolve over the course of this next season, or however long this series lasts, so that you guys know how I just evolve as a player to climb and solo queue, and how I work to improve. I'm a really competitive player. I always really like to play or I always like to grind ranked a ton and try to get better at the game. So I think it makes sense for me to do a solo queue series like this, which I've actually tried this before, but it didn't really last very long due to multiple reasons. But we're going to start it off again. Initially, I wasn't actually planning on doing this, but I think my mindset is in the right place, both in terms of just not being super toxic and taking the game too seriously, but also in terms of just my my approach to the game. I think is a little bit different now. Over the course of the last literally week or two, I just changed my approach, and I think it has a lot of potential. Even though I was master tier last season, you guys might be thinking you're master tier most of the season last season. Why are you going for rank 1? Work on challenger. Well, I mean, the thing is I've been challenger multiple times before. I mean, I was even challenger last season, and my problem here is consistency. My actual skill peak is pretty good. I just need to figure out how to be consistent and shape up my game that way. So I'm not too worried about being able to climb to a high level. It's just more of being consistent enough to climb to an even higher level, and that's what I'm trying to work on here. This series is actually very heavily inspired, and I'm going to try to essentially emulate Panzer Dragon's old Challenger to Rank 1 series. I definitely want to develop my own style over time. Obviously, I want to hear what you guys think of the series. I want to hear criticisms and just thoughts on how I can improve everything, because I want to make this as best as I can over time. I want every video to get better. But yeah, I'd say I definitely want to just kind of start off kind of essentially copying what he did, because it's one of my favorite ranked series videos of all time, especially the first couple years. It was something I was really heavily invested into. For some reason, I think it's just a good combination of educational plus entertaining plus, I don't know, just the storyline and the progress being made. I love it, and I hope you guys will love it when watching my journey. So to jump right on in, well, I guess we've already been jumped right on in. We're going over our 10 placement games. We're playing 10 placement games that I want to showcase in this video, which is a lot. Generally speaking, I want to do probably 4 or 5 videos, or 4 or 5 games per video. That way it's not too much. So in this video, we're doing a little bit of a montage to start, as you can see from these early games. There's not too much that's happening. Honestly, it's pretty boring games with some key moments. So I want to kind of show you guys the key moments in the game to illustrate how the game ended up going the way that it did. But in general, pretty boring games, on top of the fact that I was having some lag issues. So some clips, are kind of hard to watch for that reason. And we'll just, I just want to kind of do a little bit of a mini montage for the first 7 games or so. We'll just go ahead and see the progress that we make. Once we get to the later half of this video, then we're going to be doing more we're gonna be doing there's gonna be more depth to the games, and kind of breaking down my actual thought processes, and just showcase what actually what the entire game looks like as a whole. But yeah, that's essentially going to be what this series is going to be about, and I'm really excited, and I hope you guys are too. So my mindset, by the way, like I mentioned before, my mindset changed, that my epiphany that I had is that in solo queue, a lot of people, and myself included over the last couple of years, has a lot of people have the mindset of my teammates are bad, and I can't really control my teammates, so I need to try to get myself ahead as much as possible and just hope my teammates are, you know, don't feed too much, so that I can get to the point where I can carry. I want just like, I can't control my teammates, so I gotta just kind of control myself and do whatever I can to get ahead. I actually think this mindset's kind of bad. I think for some champions that might be good, but for a lot of junglers in particular, it's not really going to lead into too many results, because your role as a jungler really is to help facilitate lanes. And I mean, even if I feel like Warwick is a very high resource champion and he's not really good at ganking early on, I still think that the way I approach it now is much better, which is to like, essentially it's going to be, I'm trying to make my teammates' lives as easy as possible. I'm trying to simplify the game, make the game play itself, and you know, really help. I think the best way of putting it is I'm trying to make my teammates comfortable. I'm trying to make my teammates comfortable as I'm playing the game, and that includes counter jungling, that includes helping pushing in waves, and just kind of always being there to help, ganking when I need, and just like looking at what my lanes need. So I'm not going for like maximum farm or anything like that. As you can see right here with this counter gank, that could have been a situation where my mid laner falls behind, but he doesn't fall too far behind. I mean, he does end up falling behind, but not too far behind, because of the fact that I'm there to pick up the double kill because I got his back. And I'm just more aware right now of the map and more aware of my teammates, which I think will go a long way. Now this game actually is kind of a bad example, because I played pretty bad in the mid game. You guys don't really see it, but I died a lot in the mid game for like no reason and started feeding. But luckily we got Risty on Garen, you know, spinning to winning and carrying this game. So we ended up getting the dub there. And now we're in our 8th game of our placement match. So far we're 5-2, sitting pretty across the board. So yeah, let's just go ahead and look at the matchups, the champion matchups, lane matchups in this game. Think about what lane should I gank early on. Well, my thought process is, which is actually different than what I probably would have done like a month ago, is I should be playing towards the bot lane, because Varus and Karma are 2 champions that are going to be they're champions that really need to be ahead to be strong, and they're usually gonna be pushing a lot early on, because that's what those 2 champions are good at. So it's unlikely that I can get early kills. But if I can be bot lane and prevent them from dying to ganks early on, because if they're pushing, they're susceptible to ganks, then I can allow them to stay ahead. And I essentially just want to stabilize the lane, because as long as the lane is even, they're winning, essentially. I just have to make sure they don't fall behind. And even though I'm really good at ganking Gwen, which is, I normally would path towards Gwen early on, because Warwick is just super easy to kill Gwen. But I can kill Gwen at any point. So I figured, let's stabilize bot lane and mid lane early on, make sure that they don't fall behind, and then let's play towards top lane in the mid game and start collecting free gold when the opportunity is there. And that's essentially what we go for. As you see, we just got a free kill and free kills in the bot lane. And this actually right here is a perfect example of what I'm talking about with sneaking up. I'm just kind of hiding this bush. Instead of going for my raptor camps and continuing farming, I help my bot lane push in the wave, and they're winning the lane. As you can see, they're winning the lane. I'm just sitting there to make sure that they don't get ganked and die and end up losing lane as a result. I'm helping by sacrificing like 1 camp. I'm making sure that my bot lane is going to be set up to be strong for the next couple minutes, which I think is just definitely worth it. Afterwards, my top laner really low HP, or dies, leaving Gwen really low HP, and Warwick does Warwick things, where I just run 50,000 movement speed across the map, get a kill. And this is what I'm talking about, by the way, with the Gwen. Like I said, like Gwen, really easy for Warwick to kill. I can just kind of walk up and just start whacking at her. Especially with the Cassante setup. This is just absolutely disgusting gank setup from this Cassante, with all the CC and just knockbacks and stuff like that. And we just kind of keep repeating the kills on her. I recall, I get my Bork, and now I'm just kind of going for it again. Like I said, she's a bag of gold. Bot lane is kind of they're chilling. Mid lane is doing whatever, and I can just kill top lane on repeat, which is exactly what I do. And I also got Herald after that last kill as well, so we go ahead and drop the Herald this time, get the turrets, and I'm thinking that I can go ahead and do a little bit of a counter jungle. I know that the Graves is might be nearby, but I got Cassante near me as well and everything up, so I think I can fight him. But Graves is actually pretty fed, so I end up dying here. You might think that I could have just ulted, but if I ult him a full HP Graves, he's just going to kite me, and nothing's really going to be accomplished there. I have to get him somewhat low before I can use my ultimate to re-engage. Afterwards, my bot lane starts kind of feeding for like 4 minutes straight. My Varus keeps getting caught out constantly. It's actually causing a lot of problems here. But I'm making sure that I'm not dying with him, and we're just like letting the Varus die himself. So we're not losing too much. And right here, he does get caught out again, but he has Flash. So we're able to punish the Blitzcrank off of that and actually set up a Baron. So like we honestly probably shouldn't have gotten a free Baron opportunity like that, but we did, just kind of due to luck. Well, Varus's Flash, I guess, is what you could call luck. And we decided to just turn on this Graves here on the Baron. Graves is like the entire enemy team. He's like has like 8 kills of like the enemy team's 13 kills. So the reason why I'm so aggressive on this Baron, even though our Akali is for some reason bot lane, I know that I can just, as long as I ult Graves, he can't really do anything because he's the entire team. I can kill him easily and get him out of the fight. So as long as I'm prioritizing targets correctly, then we're doing completely fine. And we end up getting the Baron as a result, despite their bot lane trying to contest and make something happen, which leads to us being able to just reset and group as a team. Although Victor is kind of split pushing down here. So me and Kali try to team up to kill him, but Victor tries to run away. He actually tries to TP away with the here, which he succeeds at doing. But I decided to run towards mid lane where the action's happening, and Varus is just popping off. Like I said, Varus is a win more champion. He's a champion that if he's ahead, like if you keep, like he's always gonna start off really strong, and if you keep him ahead the entire game, he's a really OP champion. But if he falls behind, not very useful. So you gotta make sure that you keep Varus ahead. And people really don't think of Varus as a carry, I feel like, but he's not like super 1v9, but he's just like pretty, like, he's just a pretty good champion across the board. I don't know how to put it. The next game though, we're playing against a man named Soren Bjerg, now on 100 Thieves, and he's playing top lane Cassante. And this is actually one of my best plays, probably of my placement matches here. This gank on Bjergsen is pretty genius. So it's a top lane tank matchup. Where Bjergsen knows that I start topside. So obviously he's going to think that I'm going to be pathing towards bot because it just kind of seems kind of useless to, or it seems very, very unlikely I'm going to gank top lane. But I path all the way around to avoid any wards because I saw that Cassante was pushing the lane. So I just know it's a free kill. And I think that was a really, really smart thing for me to do. We end up coming mid lane and getting another kill on this Katarina. And the only really risk, honestly, of the Cassante gank was getting counter jungled by Elise, but as we can see right here, she's not able to counter jungle in time, and she tries to fight me, but she gets a little bit of a taste of what it's like to duel a Warwick level 3, which we love to see. But to follow that up, this we try to go for a little bit of a counter gank here, knowing Elise is probably going to come to here, and this is honestly a terrible idea. The lane's in a bad spot, so I can't really get around the bot lane. And we just end up losing this fight. I don't think there was much of an angle for us to win it, honestly, just considering how the lane was. If their bot lane was pushing up, sure, but they weren't. So that was a pretty big mistake by me, kind of cocky to go for it. But it's okay. After that play, I come back. I ended up actually ganking mid with my ultimates. We fail to kill the Katarina. And when I go back to farm my wolves, I notice that they're trying to gank the Veigar. But I'm here, and I got a big blood trail on this Katarina, which means I can walk up and kind of do some work on them. Sadly, however, even though we do manage to get the kill, they got the entire squad. Literally, I got five man, turned on at 9 minutes in the mid lane, which is very sad. But overall, the play's still worth it. So it's just forces them all to run my direction. Following that, we decided to just group for Rift Herald and try to make plays with our lead. I actually make a kind of a mistake here. I thought my teammates were going to help me on this engage here with my big AoE fear. They did not follow up with the AoE fear, and I had to run for my life to make sure I get out. I got kind of lucky that I did get out and didn't give away like a shutdown, but it all works out. And then following that, we got another fight breaking out in the mid lane. I get caught out by Cassante, but I'm able to all out, and Yeah, I'm able to ult out and kind of be safe. And right here, I'm just kind of trying to play like a little bit of an in and out play style, and just kind of go in with my Q, walk away with my E. But I get caught out by the Pikey and stunned up, which is pretty sad. I'm actually like, I'm definitely the strongest champion on the map right now, so me dying is not a good thing. Luckily, my teammates are able to actually trade this fight even. And I realize actually right here that the enemy team, we both have like the same spawn times. And the enemy team is definitely going to group for this dragon. They're going to look to just run straight to the dragon after this. So I tell my teammates, hey, let's go ahead and try to rush Baron. Because even if we don't manage to get the Baron in time, we still have a positional advantage where we can just kind of force a really winnable fight. But for whatever reason at all, Katarina is just chilling in this bush. And I have no idea, no clue as to why she would be there, but she is. And we end up trading 1-for-1. Although Lucian's stronger, so it's not as good. Although I will say, no Katarina on their team means less damage that I'll take. Less burst damage I'll take, which is really good. The less enemies you're fighting as Warwick, obviously the more valuable your healing is. And right here, I get caught out, but I'm Thanos, so I survive. Although I will say, really big problem that I make here, that you guys probably didn't notice, is that I didn't use my E before my ultimate landed. That's something that like I don't do enough. I always greed my E. I always try to get value out of the fear after my ultimate. But I could have just, like, considering I'm going a squishy build there and I'm diving into like the middle of the enemy team, I should be using RE and getting my damage reduction off during my ultimate so that I can't just get, you know, one shot during my ultimate. That's just a huge problem. I got away with it here because I'm really fed, but honestly, it's like it's a serious issue that kind of reoccurs. And I definitely need to fix that because I die so much doing something like that, especially when I'm building like I am right here. But we end up winning at the end of the day. Pretty good carry job by me. 14-4-8 versus Bjergsen. And that puts us up to 7-2 in our placement matches with one more to go. And in this game, we actually have a couple notable people in our team. We have TL Yeon, who's the new ADC for Team Liquid. And we also have Summit in the top lane. At least I'm pretty sure it's Summit. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure that it's Summit. Especially considering he locked in Jace. He's doing with Yeon, and he's a fresh right account. But I do something very interesting right here. So we do a 3-camp clear. Syndra comes to ward my Raptors, and I clear the ward. I initially was thinking about, you know, going towards my just finishing my clear, but then I realized Syndra's playing a little bit cocky. She's not reacting to the fact that I killed her ward. So I decided to loop back around and pressure her. And even though I know that, you know, she can run towards this Viego, and she's obviously trying to, you know, create a 2v2 situation, we just win the 2v2. Viego's not very strong early game. So I just pop Ghost, and we get a very easy double kill. And just, yeah, we just once again are off to a really good start. Fast forward a little bit, Viego spawns and just tries to force a gank bot lane right away. But Kalista and Soraka are too OP in the early game. And I have just a dream flank right here. I got a 3-man fear, and we're just cleaning up kills everywhere. We get a double kill for my bot lane. Well, not a double kill, because I guess it's kind of split across the two, but bot lane's ahead now, I'm ahead. And to make matters even better, after I recall and I recognize that top lane is being pushed in, and Jace can set up a freeze. So I have a really good gank opportunity over here. So I decided to just sit in this tri-bush and wait for Shen to show up. It's a Shen, so it's kind of hard to gank. But even if we don't kill him, we can still, like, you know, I can still like help out Shen quite a bit. And we also notice that Viego's mid lane. So we know that he's not up here at least yet, but I do see right there on my mini-map that he started to head up top lane, presumably to, you know, gank this Jace and try to break the freeze. So I just sit in the tri-bush, wait for him, and we pick up another kill. So top lane is now ahead. I mean, I guess Jace didn't get the kill, but he's still in a pretty good spot. Top lane's ahead, bot lane's ahead, I'm ahead, and after, you know, we, you know, recall, or I think we just full cleared there, and now we're on the bot side of the map. We have a pink ward here from Soraka, which means that with my Ghost up, I have an insane ult range. And Kalista's just really OP at the moment, so like we just go in. Akali's also coming in. And this is actually a beautiful tower dive by us, by the way. Check this out. Like that was just honestly like really well executed by everyone. Very, very clean. I know a lot of people I've seen on like forums like Reddit and everything have talked about how towers are really underpowered, and it's honestly true. Towers need to be a lot better. Way too easy to tower dive, and I don't know if it's towers or I don't know. They could like maybe figure out a different solution, but that's definitely a problem. Regardless, I guess that's right there is actually Exhibit A, watching Callista just dance around the turret, killing 2 people. But fast forward a little bit. Karma tried to like actually kill this pink ward, but I think she got scared off, so she decided not to finish it off despite being 1 auto away. And I just decided to take this red without actually hitting the ward, because I'm thinking that, you know, I want to see if someone walks up to take the red so that I can kill him. But Viego doesn't show up, but I do see that's Draven, who is farming bot lane, walked up to farm Krugs as well, so I just blast over the wall to kill him. And now we're heading over to this action that happens because 2 people got caught out. I don't know what happened. It shouldn't have happened because we're up a ton. But I got Ghost up, and you know, Cliss is really strong right now. I got my Bork power spike, and I do something very, very interesting right here. Right before we kill the Syndra, I actually pop Ghost. That way I get the Ghost extension. I get the resets. So now I can run as this Viego very, very fast for like 15 seconds. And even though the Shin ult does come in, I'm so strong at the moment that it doesn't really matter. And not really much to go over this game, just to kind of stomp across the board from everyone. And that ends up putting us at 8-2 placement matches. Diamond 2 is our starting position, 80% win rates. And we're off to a fantastic start to season 11, or sorry, season 13. Let me know what you guys think of this video. Let me know what criticisms or any like thoughts you guys have in the format. Peace out. I'm gonna read every comments, and thanks for watching.